So I'll call on Ross to continue with the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abby. So I'm briefly going to cover why invest in the UK. It's multifaceted. It's a really impressive opportunity in terms of we see a lot of global investment and there's lots of reasons as to why. But in particular for the property market, the real estate market, the UK property market, in particular the buy-to-let market, is one of the most resilient and strongest growing markets within any sort of investment class. Research by Keller Williams has shown that prices have continued to increase year on year, with an increase of 14.1% over the last 3 years, even since the EU referendum. And even with massive disruptions with such as COVID-19, growth has persisted and continued to grow even throughout these very difficult times. Over the past decade, we've seen UK property prices generally increase year on year between 3 and 5%, and this is no different to the areas that we build our developments in. And on top of that, we are seeing very strong rental yields in all of our locations, which range from around about 3 to 7%, offering some extremely strong returns. But one of the key factors is this change in the sort of demographic of investors and renters in the UK property market. Since 2001, so just over 20 years ago, only 10% of the population were private rental, whereas now, so 20 years on, we are now seeing a 20% of the UK population market choose to rent a property rather than buy. And this is for various reasons, but as an investor, that just shows you the strength of that market has doubled in the past 20 years. And as I say, year on year, we're looking at around about 4.7%. So this is really good. Take a picture of this. This is one of the key things that we certainly see as to why people invest in the UK property market. So very strong market growth, as I say, and very consistent as well. So even during geopolitical difficulties, other sort of crises such as pandemics, etc., we always see a very strong investment in the UK property market. One thing that a British saying is, it's always sound to invest in bricks and mortar. And basically that means the property market, buying a property is one of the safest ways to invest your money. And this is the reason why. Basically, there is a supply and demand imbalance. For the past 20 years, the government have announced that we need to build roughly around about 300,000 houses every single year to match the demand and the requirement that is currently happening in our country. However, we have never yet met that target, not once. So only the highest I think we've ever achieved is 216,000 here in 2023. So we are way behind that target, therefore that supply demand continues to increase in terms of the range. Competitive rental yields, so as I say, that rental market is growing, so we're seeing huge rental jumps in various locations such as Liverpool and Manchester that exceeds the national sort of average, as it were. So 7% is generally the average you can get in Liverpool, where UK average is around about 3.5%. The economy in the UK is very strong. It's a very stable currency and a general very stable government as well. So once again, we're seeing a lot of stability in there for a lot of international, sorry about the feedback there, a lot of international investment due to those reasons. So there is a lot of government support as well. So one of the things that we've been seeing is, certainly in the northwest of England, a lot of focus has been on London, the capital, in terms of investment into the capital of UK itself. However, there are key cities such as Liverpool that have had huge amounts of money pumped into it in what the government called up the levelling up process, so levelling up other parts of the country, and Liverpool has had a huge benefit of this, and this is where we obviously focus a lot of our developments. There's been a huge spike in population growth, so we are seeing now 3.2 million people over the past decade. The population has grown, and with that obviously demand for property, both rental and buying, has obviously increased as well. But one of the things that I'm going to talk to you a bit about in a bit later is about the regeneration projects. And Liverpool in particular has probably one of the most exciting regeneration projects in the whole of Europe, where huge amounts of money are being pumped into these cities such as Liverpool, which help to increase the property values, driving up those prices, and therefore making it a really fantastic investment opportunity. And these are generally the reasons why people invest in UK property. So without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to my colleague Dave, who's going to talk to you about one of our schemes, Deakin's Yard. Thank you.